All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having a great morning. Hope you had an amazing day yesterday. Although with the chop, it was pretty difficult to do that. So we'll see how some of these stocks traded. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good. Good morning, Carlos. Yourself?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys. So as usual, we'll go over our top plays and highlights from yesterday's watch list. Then we'll get into some news, see what the SPY is doing. I know we got some interesting stuff happening today with some Fed speak, so that'll be interesting. And then we'll get into our gappers list over here. We got quite not a lot. We got three on here that look interesting so far. Definitely FedEx looks interesting, down 11%. So that'll be nice to see what's going on there. And then we'll look our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. We'll get into some announcements of what's happening today and the rest of the week. And then we'll jump into finalizing this list, finding some support and resistance. All right, so let's start over with KHC yesterday. I mean, this thing, looking at it now, it's just, man, horrible, horrible. So one question we get a lot quite often through social media or in the chat is, how do you know when you're going to be stuck in chop? And the thing is, you don't know, right? So you have this beautiful indecision candle here, like means just perfect indecision. And a lot of the traders are going to go into this trade if it breaks out one way or the other to see who's going to take control of the action, the buyers or the sellers. In this case, the buyer took control. And you can see the nice, beautiful drop. So if you got a perfect entry or not a perfect entry, but a great entry here, this could have been a beautiful drop, right? But it happened so fast. And if you look at the one, it's just so unclear and not clean that you can easily miss this, and it shoots right back up, engulfing the previous candle. So again, just look at this 1 minute, how choppy this is. Then you get another possible indication that we're going to go above VWAP. It does that, shoots back down, right? This is where I got in. Again, got stopped out because just no continuation at all. And then right back down below VWAP, back up again. So again, just pure chop on KHC. Finally sold off a bit here, but again, if you're just looking at the 1 minute and the price action alone too, the price action was just like exactly a Blake hot garbage. That's exactly what it was. So that was KHC yesterday. GLW gave us a hard time at the open. At the open was just not playing nice over here, very nasty as well, very choppy, a lot more cleaner than KHC was. Eventually it did settle down, did below VWAP here for a false VWAP breakdown, and then shoots back up, finds a nice support here off the VWAP, and then you get a beautiful pop towards the high of the day. So a lot of traders took this trade here, but this entry here again was just kind of a little difficult here. It looked like it was going to be strong and possibly break out of the high of the pre-market, but it just couldn't establish a good move here. Now, one thing on this stock, I did get a question yesterday on GLW, which I want to share with you guys because we also seen this question quite a bit. So we were asked here, on my recap, I mentioned that I didn't like what I saw in the level 2 and the time in sales. That was not clear to me. So the question with guys, what did I see and what do I mean by the imbalance of power between buyers and sellers? So what we're looking at here, guys, when this thing popped up, I took it long here, right? I took it long within that area. What happens is when you get to an area of resistance and support, you're going to notice a lot of transactions happening really fast. And when you get that movement of good order flow that just keeps going, and people are just, getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, you notice that it usually tends to pop. Like you have that movement like that at a level where the price stays steady but the volume keeps going is usually an indication that you're going to possibly break out. And then the next indication I like to see is heavy on the ask, right? A lot of people sitting on the ask waiting to get in down here, waiting to get filled. Usually that's a good indication that we're going to break from that level. We've seen that quite often. Every time, I took this twice, every time we got to this point, the order flow just completely stopped. It just kind of just paused to the point that, okay, there's no activity happening here. And the ask that I was watching here disappeared. Once I saw that, I got out basically at break even twice because that's a signal for me that we're going to head back down. And it did just that. It pulled back twice and I was stopped out. So that's what I see on here. It's very difficult to explain it if you're not actually seeing it live. But again, it's just that order flow completely slows down, and then you have no big ask here sitting down, indicating that's a possible pop. And again, guys, these are just indications. You have to look at everything, right? You cannot trade just off of that. You got to look at what the chart is doing as well. But when you see that indication, I was able to pick up that, okay, this thing is not ready to break out. And both times you can see how it clearly sold off. So next we had a AMD. So AMD on here again just continues to be extremely choppy. Look at this wick. It looked like it was going to be strong, but couldn't hold. Heads right back down. Nice big indecision candle, and then just sells off here. But again, it's just very nasty. And from there, it's just extremely choppy. Not really anything going on with AMD. Snap was actually very, very clean. If I was not messing around with GLW, this could have been a beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5. So here's your 5. Here's your range. You get a pullback, a pretty deep pullback here. So you got to be careful that it's not actually going to sell off, because again, this pullback is pretty deep, almost covering the opening range. But on the way up, you can see a better entry on the 1. On the way up, you can see how clearly this bounces off these moving averages, and it just became a beautiful pop towards the high of the day. Now, what many people say is, well, it's easy to do a recap or kind of analyze the trade after the fact, and I agree 100%. This is why, let's say you don't see this on here. Let's just say this is all covered right on here. Say we have all this covering here, right over here. Oops, sorry. There we go. See, this is what you're looking at. This is what you're paying attention. You don't know what's going to happen next, but when you see this pattern and this bounce on the way up, and you have your 5-minute opening range, and you have just this information down here, that's your signal. You don't know what's going to happen next. It could become chop after that, right? And that's what happens sometimes. You get your signal, very clean signal here, very clean opening range, very good pullback, and sometimes it doesn't work, right? So you're not looking for this move here. You're looking for the entry signal. Once you get your entry signal, more often than not, thinking in probabilities is going to work, and you want to take your entry, have your stop set loss correctly, and then hope that what you've been doing for all this time and practicing on for opening range breakup or breakdown is going to work. So again, very important. You're looking for a signal for an entry. You're not looking for basically the whole entire confirmation of the move, because by then, again, it'll be too late to get in. Here we have SQ, guys. SQ is a beautiful short. Again, another one that just popped up and sold right back down. We had a lot of these yesterday. Another nice pullback here for a good opening range breakdown. And a lot of you guys took this short. It turned out to be really nice. Over here got really choppy, then finally popped up back to re-up. But again, once it got into this area, it just became really, really choppy, like everything else that we had yesterday. LWW, this was nice. This was a beautiful sell-off. It wasn't short selling restriction, so I had a lot of people send me messages that that they were not able to get in, and unfortunately, when they ran so much, they just stopped trying. So they kept putting their order on the ask, and unfortunately, they were not able to get in and head down. Here, I was looking this for a 15-minute opening range breakup, but again, it just was so extended. As you know, I'm trying to hopefully practice this 15-minute opening range, but again, too extended, and you can see that it's just kind of sold off even some more. That could have been a good 15-minute opening range breakdown. All right, guys, so that is what we had yesterday. Again, a very choppy day. Norm, what do we have going on with the SPY this morning?
Not much at all, man. Like we kind of mentioned yesterday in the room, today at 2 o'clock, the FOMC decision on rate policy will be released, followed 30 minutes later at 2:30 by a press conference with Chairman Jerome Powell. So on these days when we're in this situation, barring any crazy catalyst, we're usually pretty flat overall on the market. Not to say there's not one or two things in play. We've got a couple of them this morning, but a lot of times things are relatively flat, and what is active kind of slows down soon after the market opens. People get into their positions, and really nobody wants to do a whole lot until until the policy decision is released at 2 o'clock. So, other than that, we've got a couple of pieces of data that just came out: housing starts and building permits, and that's about it for the day. I will note that it was the early October press conference by Powell. It was a press conference by Powell last October that spiked the market downward. If you even look at a weekly, it's probably more clean than that. And put it all the way down through December. December, he opened his mouth again and put it into another tailspin. You can see on the weekly that one big candle. And then he's done it. He did it again in May. So he hasn't been the smoothest talker as far as getting the markets to do what everybody would like them to do, as far as so that's kind of That's kind of what's going on. And like ZZ Top is saying, they should just write rate cut or not. Well, that's what they used to do. But Jerome Powell decided he was going to have a press conference after every rate decision.
Yeah.
They used to have them a couple of times a year, but now it's every single time. And he's just not. When he talks, he seems to every time say something that causes the market to turn over. So
yeah, the delivery is definitely not well. He could have the greatest news,
Yep.
and his delivery is just not.
Uh-huh.
It's not well
Yeah.
received. Hey guys, we're doing great, amazing, boom, tank. Just
Yep.
that's the way it works. All right, guys. So be aware that if you're in any position, be careful. That's happening today at 2 p.m.
Correct. 2 o'clock Eastern, and then the press conference is at 2:30.
All right,
So I
excellent.
know that I will be flat before any of that happens.
Absolutely. You never know what to expect. So let's get into it, folks. We have 3 on here: Roku, FedEx, and ZYN. Let's see what's going on. Let's start with Roku, just popping up into our scanners. This one's got some volume, 200. Oh, let's get our daily chart on here. And then let's get our 5-minute. All right. So looks like Roku is somewhat into some consolidation after this huge drop. You can see a nice area of nice little range in here. Been pretty choppy the last couple of days. So now we're gapping down 4%, and we're getting towards the bottom of this range. So this is nice. This could be very interesting for Roku. Now, Norm, this is a big drop here around 820 or so. Do we have any news that broke out this morning?
I have not seen anything yet. Let me take a look. I'll get back with you if anybody's seen anything. That was around the time when I was just getting back home from dropping my son off. So
yeah, no, and it just came on too. Like, it was not even on here. It just popped up into the scanner. So yeah, let's see what we have there. So, but again, it looks interesting, guys. Love the volume. And as we know, Roku has been trading very, very well. Been very strong over the last couple of weeks. I mean, look at this daily chart, guys. This was trading at 40. I remember trading it at 40 back in May or so. So again, it's just been really strong. Still very high up in the 140. So this will be interesting. Again, nice pop here, some good volume. Yeah.
They did get an analyst upgrade this morning and a raised price target from, I believe, around 120 to 175.
Okay.
So. And it's kind of counterintuitive, but a lot of times the market sees it when everybody starts to get super bullish on something. The market starts to go the other way because everybody sees there's no, everybody seems to be a little too enthusiastic about it as a contraindicator. But we'll see. Yeah, that's what I see so far. Maybe there's something else out there I don't, but that's all I can see, and it was right around that same time.
Excellent. All right, so here we have OSTK. See what OSTK is up to again. Again, guys, this one is one you have to be really careful with. ATR is pretty high on this one. Usually here we had a 260 today, and again, it's a stock that's trading at $18, so you want to be extremely careful with this. And it moves like a low flow. It's not a low flow. It's 26 million shares float, but it does move like one, so you want to be very careful with your number of shares. Volume today is just hitting 105,000 here, up 1.8. Pre-market activity not looking all that great. We'll give it a little time to see what happens here. Look at this huge move over here, and then right back down in just 3 days. So interesting to see what's going to happen today. We could have a good continuation out of this. We're at an area of the previous day close. Seems to be an area of support. The last time it was around this area, so let's see what we can get off that. FDX is on here. This one is down quite a bit, 10%, 542,000 shares traded. Norm, they didn't have earnings, right? Or what's causing
FedEx had earnings last night. They missed their earnings, but the concerning thing was their guidance for the coming quarter was very weak, and they cited trade war and global growth concerns in that as a potential headwind. So,
you would think with the holidays coming, this would be the opposite, but yeah, looks like a big drop here, down 10%, 544. They definitely have a nice daily. We're sitting at a level of resistance on several days on here, 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4, 5 here, so 6. So we have a good daily chart on this one and some good activity. Definitely look forward to seeing how that's going to trade at the open. ZYNE, this one is down 13.7, 240,000 shares traded. It has a good pre-market activity, has some good volume. we lost quite a bit. The daily chart also looks very interesting. What's the flow? This one is 20 million shares flow, so it's right borderline, of a lower flow stock. So you want to be careful. Also, the ATR is at 70 cents, which is pretty decent for a stock that's trading at $9, right? So you want to be aware of that as well. Any significant news on this one, Norm? I think I lost Norm's sound.
Can you not hear me?
Okay, now we got you. Yep.
Sorry, this one I have not yet looked into.
Okay, no worries, man.
Somehow I missed it this morning. So.
No, it's all good. Here we have another one that's just coming up on the gapper scanners, PTCT. So this one here is down 8%, 125. Oh, but this is a nasty pre-market activity. Also nasty daily chart as well. So again, not sure if this is going to get any better, but right now the way this pre-market activity looks doesn't look very well. Also, I think we have looked at this one in the past, and it doesn't trade very well. If I'm not mistaken, it with a different stock. So I'll keep it on here, but this is one that doesn't trade very well. And again, this looks very flat and very nasty. Although it has 125, a lot of it sitting on here, at least 60,000, half of it. And again, just pretty flat at the moment. All right, let's look at our next. Go ahead.
And that one's on a secondary offering as well. So a lot of times you don't get a whole lot of interesting moves out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Nasdaq active guys. SNNA. This one penny stock under $1. Not gonna look at it. Has a lot of volume, 15%, but again, just not what we want to focus on. SPI looks interesting. We have looked at this one before, but again, it's one of those stocks that you want to just be very careful with. It's also like a penny stock, trades very wild. Today they got some good volume, 930. They're up 56%. Let me just check the flow on this. We're looking at low flow 9.6. So this would be the one for the low flow of the day. Looks like it's very active. Pre-market showing a lot of great movement on here. But again, you want to be very, very careful. All right, next we have NLNK. So this one on here is also pretty active, 667, not as clean as SPI. Let's look at the flow, NLNK. This one is 36 million shares flow, so it's not a low flow. But again, there's something about these stocks that are priced under $5, sometimes under 10, that are not low floats. They don't move very well. Very rarely they're very slow, and it's difficult to catch some good patterns. This one, because of prices today, I'm going to put it down here as possible just to see how things develop here. But right now, pre-market activity is not looking all that great. We got a lot of volume, but look how stale this looks, right? Nothing interesting even with all this volume here. So but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt that hopefully it can get better. So NLNK, we'll keep it on here. We'll come back to it. AMD, the chopness continues. I mean, this thing has just been unbelievable. But definitely, I want to keep looking at it every day, because the minute it breaks out of this range, I'm hoping we can catch a real nice move, right? So I'm hoping with some news or something happens, this could be a good one to watch. But again, just still struggling within this range. I haven't seen AMD struggle within that range like that. Oh, actually, we had a bit of a time frame here, but we traded around this time and we've traded very well. So the intraday must have been clean during those days, but it definitely has not been the last couple of days. Next, we have TVIX. The volatility index is down quite a bit, as the SPY is pretty much flat. This is down 1%. Not much happening here. VTVT. This one is doesn't trade very well, guys. We have looked at it several times in the past before. Just look at the daily, how nasty this is. It has some volume. It's up 4.8, but just look at everything on here. It's just not great. Eric, also a penny stock, doesn't trade very well. Actually, this is not a penny stock. No, I'm just confusing it with something else. What is this? Is the
Eric's in the phone.
Yeah. This is a huge, it's a huge company, a huge flow. But this one doesn't move well. That's the issue with this one. It is a foreign stock, and you can see here on the daily a lot of gaps.
ATR. Well, just look at the ATR. It's 14 cents.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to get anything exciting out of this unless it's some serious news. It requires a lot of catalyst to get this moving. So not one that I'm going to watch. Next, we have GHSI. Penny stock, guys, trading under $1. So we'll skip this one. Let's head down to VIVE. Also penny stock, trading at 9 cents. Not anything we want to trade. Roku, here's Roku. We have already, again, just bouncing back a bit from the low of 143, so it's very active this morning. 333,000 shares traded, so looking forward to that. SPI, we have possible low flow for the day, sitting at 60 61% at the moment. Again, good pre-market activity, good pre-market action at the moment. CODX, nothing happening here, guys. No volume, only 3,200 shares traded. SINT, 36,000 shares traded. Not a lot going on here. CDW, same situation, guys. Not much. NLNK has some volume, has some activity. So we'll just continue to see how that develops. LXRX. This one's been in this list for a couple of days. It seems like it had a pop. It's been holding. It's popping up again today, another 6%. But I remember we looked at it. I forgot what day we looked at it. It did not trade very well, guys. At the open, it's just sold off. It was very nasty, very choppy. So again, it's just not gonna avoid this one today. Right now, it doesn't have any volume, anyways. But it could be setting up for a good continuation if you're into these type of style of trading. And next, NEXT. This one, no volume. Last one on this list, ZSAN. This one also has no volume as well. All right, so that is what we have. Guys, what do you guys like this morning that's not on this list?
Let me throw you a couple. Adobe, ADBE, and Chewy, CHWY. Both reported earnings. And Adobe is a little bit light on the volume right now, but I anticipate it'll get going later. It's kind of common with this one, pre-market, and then Chewy's got volume, but it's not down enough to hit the scanners yet, but it should be interesting.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll definitely watch this one. I do like the daily on this one. We have an area of support here. If we can break out of that or get a nice bounce, that's good. And CHWY, this one it's got some decent volume, actually a good pre-market activity too. And this one we traded in the past. This one trades very well. This one trades clean, especially when it's in play. So worth having a watch on this one today. All right, let's see what else you guys like. All right, let's see. MU. Let's look at MU. What is it up to today? MU's daily looks nice. This looks interesting. Has a nice bounce off this moving average here. You also have a level of 49. Had a good 2 green days the last 2 times here. So yeah, this is looking nice. Definitely worth taking a look at, especially on a day like today where you don't have a lot of craziness going on. This is worth looking at. All right, so what do we have here? Let's look at GIS. All right, GIS.
Hey, Carlos?
Yeah, what's up, man?
There's some kind of weird popping sound going on in your mic.
Oh, is that my mic? Hold on a second. Let me mute it and let me know if you still hear it.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, so when I muted my mic, you still heard it? Not sure what it is. All right, let me see what's going on.
Turn your mic off in the room real quick and see if that does it. That fixed it. Hop back on. Maybe it'll.
No, it looks like it's on my end. So let me see what's going on with this mic here.
Sorry about that, guys. We'll get it fixed here in just a second. I thought he either had boiling water going on for some tea or popcorn at 8:55 in the morning. I didn't know which, maybe both. Ruffling chest hairs could be it. True, I don't think it was that. Give us just a second. Sorry about that.
It is just the mic making that noise. It's getting worse and worse.
We will.
So I am not sure what's going on.
Carlos is back on, but we can't hear you, buddy. Is there news out of from the president? Tweet. Yep. Iranian sanctions. Should be interesting as far as that goes. Yesterday, when that news came out, they talked about increasing sanctions on Iran, which they're already got a ton of them on. It actually sent the oil stocks lower when that first came out, because I think they're responding, and the oil stocks are going higher on potential military action over there. So when they talk about it just being sanctions, kind of knocked them. It looks like some of these oil stocks reacted somewhat positively to that news right now. Just WLL, for instance, popped on it. That was in play the other day. Exxon popped a little bit just now. So anyway, let's go to announcements. Thank you for popping that up, Carlos. Well, callers, we'll work on that. We'll go to the next section, announcements. Mike Belfiore interview, co-founder S&P Capital, is posted on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it. We've got more great interviews coming up soon. DAX #1 Best Trader competition is currently going on right now. It goes on all month. You can check it out at onebesttrader.com. They have a live leaderboard. It's really neat to see live trades and how everybody's doing. BBT is well represented. Earlier this week, the winner of the contest over the summer actually got their tour of NASDAQ and lunch and dinner and all that stuff. So if you check out Daytrader on Twitter, you'll see some of the pictures from that, from the winner of the last one. Then Bearable Traders is honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards People Choice category of Best Financial Literacy Tool. If you like our content, we would love to have your vote. Abby will put up a link. You can vote one time per day per device. So once again, thanks in advance if you vote for us, have been voting for us, will vote for us. Meetups, we've got Steam Burger Meetup this coming Saturday in New York City. You should already have the info if you've signed up, if you registered. It is free. Registration is required, and event details such as place and all that have been sent to attendees via email. If you don't have it, you can email one of us here and ask for it. It should also, if you're a member, be in your dashboard. It should show up if you've registered for it to give you the information. St. Louis meetup, William and Kurt will be on October 19th. San Diego meetup coincides with Trade Ideas Conference on October 26th. And then Clearwater Beach, Florida, November 16th. If you are watching on YouTube and you have not been a part of the chat before, you can try out the room for free. Or for free, not for free, for a discount. My apologies, for a discount. Pre-market 24 is the code to do that. It does not auto-renew. And it does not auto-renew. It does not turn into any other kind of membership. The reason we charge for that is because when we have done it for free in the past, trolls decide to come in, and we like to keep our chat room, small and helpful. Anyway, if you are watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed, you can do that and hit the notification bell. You get notified whenever we release new content or go live for William's trade reviews and such. Speaking of, William will be doing his trade review tonight at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It will be live streamed on YouTube. I think this week he's gonna do something special and review a few YouTubers trades than he normally does. And then also, we are very proud to be a part of Traders for a Cause and support them. They have their the annual conference in Las Vegas coming up October 12th. If you would like to go, you can use the promo code Bearable VIP, save $250 off a ticket. All right, that's what I got. Is there another one in here for today, Carlos?
Did we talk about...
I can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah, gonna restart real quick. All right, just 1 second, guys. Sorry on YouTube for the technical issues this morning, but hopefully you can hear me a lot better. Can you guys hear me clean now?
ZZ Top.
Hey, Norm.
All right, I can
hear me better?
Yep, loud.
All right.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. So I think that is it that I'm aware of. Let's go over.
You're not sure. There you go.
There we go. So now let's talk about what you guys had on your list. I know we got MU on here, so MU's daily look interesting. So we'll definitely check that out. The daily looks interesting. Right now the volume is very light, but that could change obviously. But again, we got a nice little daily chart here on MU. Just gonna scroll back up to see what else you guys have on your list. What else we had on here? Facebook. Let's look at Facebook, see what's going on there. Wow, very light on volume today, guys. Again, only 16,000 shares.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
nothing on there.
nothing great happening there. CHWY we do have right on here. So this one we have.
I will note that Facebook on the daily kind of looks like it's forming into a wedge a little bit. It might break out at some point. Don't know if it'll be today, but
Yeah.
might do something here in the near future.
Yeah, I think a lot of these stocks, like a lot of people are saying, everybody's waiting to see what the market's going to do today as well. So things might be a little flat until then, but this will be a great day to look at scanners. ACAD coming up in our gapper scanner as well as some other ones. So let's look at that one. ACAD had this beautiful gap. I remember having this on our list, traded very well. And today they're moving. 132,000 shares traded down 4.6. Yeah, this looks interesting, guys, especially because we got a nice range here after this gap, so we can see what we can get out of this one today. So ACAD, let's throw that on there. Anything else in our gappers list we haven't looked at? Road, what is Road up to? Not looking too clean right now. It does have 103,000 shares traded. It's up 3.1, but again, not looking too exciting on Road. GIS. GIS is starting to get active, has 78,000 shares traded. Looks like it wants to go red to green here. Had a nice drop all the way down to 52 almost, and now recovering. So that could be interesting today. That could be worth taking a look at. So we'll keep GIS here. All right, guys, we're pressed on time, so we're going to do a few more. Then we're going to get into some levels of support and resistance, and then if we have more time, we can look at more stocks. So STK, yeah, we always talk about OSTK has a very high short interest, so we have it on here, but you want to be very careful. Getting pretty active right now, dropping below the previous day close. 182,000 shares traded. Again, has been having a nice little drop over the last couple of days, so this will be interesting today to see what it does. We have some areas of levels we can play off as well. CGC, no volume yet, pretty light, and CDW, again, no volume also, but a nice pop on here, but again, not much going on at the moment. All right, guys, let's get into some levels. So let's start with Roku. Again, Roku, guys, looks very interesting, has a lot of volume. The daily chart also looks very nice. We do have a great level right on here, which is the recent low that we have in the last couple of days since we've been in this range right in here between 155 and 139. Low of the pre-market, we're going to mark that down in case we bounce off it again. 143.26 is the low of your pre-market. Towards the top, I'm not going to add any levels, guys. Look at this on here. You got your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. And then you also above that you have the previous day close, this dotted black line, and then the highs and low from yesterday and the day before. Also, your high of your pre-market very close to that area. So again, just a lot of resistance on here. You also have a moving average coming in around the previous day close. I'm not going to add any more to that. Towards the bottom, if we get to this 139.68, if we possibly lose that, if we're going to have a weak day, again, we're down almost 4% today. Clearly, you have this moving average here. I don't think that's going to happen unless we have a day like we did when the Apple news broke out. I don't think that type of day is happening today, but just in case, we'll put that on there. And then a very nice clean level support and resistance, guys, at 135. You can see the resistance on there. Support, resistance again, and then support before it breaks out all the way for the all-time high. So plenty of levels from Roku, guys. Very active right now. 446,000 shares traded. Definitely going to have my eye on this one today. OSTK also is very active. Again, guys, this is one you want to be careful with because the ATR is really high. The ATR on OSTK is $2.60, and a stock that's trading at 17 bucks. Is pretty massive. So low of this level here is 14.75. Your low of your pre-market looks like it's about to get broken anyways, but let's mark it just in case. 17.18 is the low right now. We'll adjust that if it heads any lower. Below that, you do have a beautiful moving average right on here at 16.42 on the daily, so I'm going to mark that down as well. And then towards the top, I think the only level you really need to add is probably the high of the pre-market sitting at 18.20. Above that, you have some highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. So you have the low from 2 days ago and the high from yesterday are perfect levels for OSTK. towards the bottom, I think that's plenty. 1475 is a good area. We also have the low sitting at the low of the day is at 1718, and then you also have 1642 as a possible area from that moving average. So that is OSTK, guys. Some good volume right now, some good pre-market activity, and a beautiful drop here going green to red this morning. FDC, guys, this has a beautiful drop down 10% this morning. Has found some kind of a bottom in the pre-market right now. Your low of your pre-market sitting at a 152.31. This is based on earnings. The forecast didn't look so great for the next quarter, as Norm was mentioning. Below that 152.31, you have 147.88, which is a clear bounce here from this day before we started heading higher. Your high of your pre-market sitting at 155.98, so we'll mark that down. Basically 156. Above that, this daily chart, you do have some very good areas right on here. So this is a clear support and resistance right on this. So you can see the support on these days here. You can see the resistance here, a nice double top, heads right back down on the daily, and again on the way back up, you can see the loss of momentum around that 159.05 area. So in case we get going, I like this area right here. You have several moving averages, at least two around this 163. Again, these are all big moves, guys. So we'll see how it trades today, but we do have some levels out of this high and low range. We do have some levels that we can aim for that are very clean on the daily chart. Good pre-market activity, guys. Great volume. 625,000 shares traded here so far. A very nice flow in the pre-market at the moment. So this one will be nice to watch today. One of the ones that has probably the best pre-market activity and the best daily chart with this beautiful drop, and also catalysts on it. So it'll be great to keep it on your watch list. ZYNE, this one, your low of your pre-market sitting at 956. 956 this morning. Clearly see how that was a bounce over a couple of days ago back in early August. The price action is right at a level, actually. It's right here. There's a clean level of support at around 10. You can see that on here. You can see several days here as well. So you want to mark that down. And then you have another one right up here. You can see several days also bouncing off this 1056. It's not a coincidence, guys. This is sitting around those whole dollar numbers, right? Usually stocks are trading around this price range. When they get to that 1056, that 11, that $10 mark, you are going to see a loss of momentum, and in some cases a change in direction. Above that 1056, we have plenty because we've been here already. The highs and lows from the last two trading days right at 11. Previous day close, high from yesterday, high from 2 days ago, all in there. So again, pre-market activity is pretty active at the moment. 281,000 shares traded. We have found a nice base here at 956. Already tested it twice. So let's see how that develops when we get the volume right at the open. PTCT, this one is not looking great, still looking pretty choppy at the moment, and this was probably secondary offering, as Norm was mentioning, so I'm going to remove this one. I think we have some better ones we can watch today. Next one on here is ADBE. The daily looks very interesting. Clean level here at 270 on this moving average, also right over here at 272.75, and your high of your pre-market sitting around 278, your high of your pre-market. You can see how that area has some support and resistance right on there from these couple of days. Above that, you got the highs and lows from the last two trading days. Don't need to add anymore. And then you have your previous day close on here as well. So some really good levels on ADBE. Right now it's pretty light on the volume, but this could be a great possible if it hits our scanners, guys. It can move nicely today. CHWY, this one has a better pre-market activity. You can see a nice flow here. We have some volume, 134,000 shares traded. We're down 2.1. We're between some levels now of support and resistance. You have support right on here the last couple of days, 1, 2, 3, 4, all bouncing between this what is that, 29.36 area or so. We broke down, so our low of our pre-market is at 28.71 at the moment. Above that, we have all these levels, the lows from the last two trading days. Then above that, we have your previous day close, which is right at the high of the pre-market. And then above that, again, more levels. You got your two highs from yesterday at 31, which, as you can see, 31 has been a big area of support and resistance over the last couple of weeks. On this one here, 31, you can see the bounce, the many bounces off that level. I don't think you need to add any more, guys. I think you have plenty of levels on this one. Just put in the low of your pre-market and you're set to go. You know what? Just in case, let's get something towards the bottom. I think we don't have anything towards the bottom. That is all-time low, guys, 28.71. So that makes it even more interesting. You could look out again below this. You could look out for whole dollar numbers like 28.50, 28. You know, look out for that for a possible loss of momentum or profit taking. MU is moving. Okay. Yep, it's moving slightly, not quite. But it is going red to green here. The daily just looks interesting. It's another great possible as DBE, ADBE as well. So towards the bottom, going to remove these levels. Towards the bottom, we have plenty highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Moving average. If we lose this 49, which is a beautiful level, this 49 on here, we have another great level right on this moving average right on here, 47.91. Also the low of this day, and not quite, but also some resistance around there. Not exactly it. ACAD, actually, you know what, let's get something towards the top, because that would be the move if MU could break out towards the top. The most recent high we have here is this one over here at a 51.30, 51.41. So we'll mark that down. If we can get into that area, that would be nice. Again, the day looks great, but as we know, MU and AMD have not been trading all that clean. We'll see if MU can give us a good opportunity today. ACAD, guys, very active. I do like this pop we had here a couple of days ago. Then we kind of went into a range, and now we're heading back down to an area of support that we have tested before. That was the low at the moment of the 2 trading days ago. So below that, you have another possible support at 39.16. And another one down here at 38.06, and then right here around 36.54. So plenty of levels right on there towards the bottom. Towards the top, you do have your previous day close. This one moves a lot, so you're gonna have your levels pretty close. For example, this one here is at 41.90, which is your pre-market. Your previous day close is at 42. So again, that's a big move. So you want to have that on there, you know, because any type of move on here can be a nice profit and gain here. So above the pre-market previous day close, you only have really the 2 highs from 2 days ago, plus this one right on here at 44. So you mark that down. It's looking very weak right now, guys. Let's see what it does around this 40 level that we had some support before. If it can break down from that, it can also become very interesting. GIS at the moment, it's got some volume going. Pre-market activity doesn't look all that great. We are between some levels right now. Let's just add some more just to have be ready for it. Above the previous day close and above the high from yesterday, we have 56.41, and towards the bottom we have plenty, guys. We have your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We have a lot of moving averages actually in between these levels as well. And then if we really lose this one here, the low from 2 days ago, the next level, that's a strong level actually. I don't look at this level here. That's a very strong level. Below that, the cleanest level I see is really down here. I don't see anything that clean, significant that sticks out right away. Actually, 53, yeah, 53.16. You can see that is a nice level there as well. So, yeah, we got plenty on here. I might not keep this one on my final list, guys, just because the pre-market activity seems a little quiet at the moment. NLNK also not looking great. I'm just going to remove this one today. Let's look at our low flow for the day, SPI. SPI, guys, this is moving. This is when it's looking very good. So for the low flow team, this is one you want to have your eyes on today. High of your pre-market, 424. Your low sitting around 250. Let's head back and see some areas of support and resistance on the daily. This thing definitely has ran out before pretty nicely. So above your 423, you have 494, but we do have more recent highs. So I'm going to bring this down to 478. So this one here is your most recent high. You want to mark that down. And then towards the bottom, you have an area of support right on here at 338. So we'll mark that down in case we get a falling angel out of this, 342. And then below that, obviously, 3 is going to be an area you want to keep a track on. That whole dollar number. So that is a SPI right now, guys. Very active. 1.7 million shares traded. It is up 77%. So there's a lot of eyes on this one. Again, it is I believe this is a low flow. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is 9.6. So be very, very careful with the number of shares you take here. ATR is 22 cents for a stock that's on a regular basis. ATR is 22 cents, right? So on a stock that's trading today with some good volume, with some good pops, already up 76%. Be cautious of the number of shares you take. All right, that is what we have. Let's just go through this really quick and see what's going on. So we have Roku, which I like, very active. Looks like it might be coming back down to test this low of the day. We'll see what it does there. OSTK, broke the low of the day. Nice. STK is looking very, very nice. Let's remove this one on here. 17. And then the new low of the day. You know what? I'm not going to mark the low of the day. I think it might, the way it's moving, it might get to the 1642. We'll see. This thing moves a lot. So 1642 is not far-fetched for this one to hit it before the actual market opens. So we'll keep an eye on this as we get closer to the open. But this one is really, really moving, guys. Look at this thing. Nice drop going from green to red here. FDX. Also looking beautiful, guys. I like this one of my favorite ones this morning. ZYNE. This one also bouncing back nicely from this 956, so that's good. ADBE, this is a possible for me, so I'm gonna throw this down here. I'm not gonna watch SPI, but I am gonna throw down ADBE as a possible here. CHWY also looks good, throw it down as a possible. So we have GIS I'm gonna take off. ACAD, this one I'm on the fence, so it could be a good possible, and we'll finalize this list when Andrew comes on. We'll go into fine-tune it and make it nice and neat on here. So we'll take this one off. So we have Roku. I like, oh, here it is, breaking the low of the day. It's going to be very nice to trade today. OSTK also heading lower. This is one of my possibles, so I'll take these two off from here. All right, guys, I think we have a very nice list. It started off a little rocky this morning, but we got a very nice list, I think. Given the situation what's happening today, I thought it was going to be a lot more dead this morning, but this is looking very nice. So we'll see what we do here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's plenty, and then we'll see these other ones, which ones we like to keep. ACAD might be all right. I could watch one more. I'll watch ACAD. 6 is my number. Pick your favorite, guys. Put your number on there and definitely watch what you like the best out of all of these. But these are all pretty good at this moment. And we got some more coming up on our gappers list here. Some more popped up. Let's just check them out. Actually only TBIO popped up, and this was not doing too much. Guys, trade safe this morning. Very important. If you had a rough day yesterday, like most people did due to the chop, today's not a day to be a hero. So be patient, right? Still wait for your setup. This is the part about trading that you have to be really, really focused on. It's controlling the emotions. If you had a red day yesterday, today you come in with a clear mind, no bias, no forcing on making a green day. Take it easy, wait for a setup, and trade safe, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. See you tomorrow morning.